All right, so today we're diving deep into something that I think a lot of our listeners dream about.
Oh, yeah.
Owning a piece of paradise in Koh Samui.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking gorgeous beaches,
Mm.
lush jungles, vibrant Thai culture. Who wouldn't want a slice of that?
Right. And I think a lot of people listening probably think that's totally out of reach.
Yeah, it seems like a far-off dream.
Yeah.
But today we're going to break down the legal side of things, especially for foreign buyers, and hopefully bring that dream a little closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our guide for this deep dive is a fantastic blog post by Worldwide Phuket Real Estate.
They really know their stuff.
Yeah, they're a real estate agency with a ton of experience in the Thai property market, and they lay everything out really clearly.
Perfect.
So let's jump right in with the big question. Can foreigners actually own land in Koh Samui?
Well, the short answer is no, not directly.
Not directly.
Nope. Unlike some countries, Thailand has specific restrictions on land ownership for anyone who's not a Thai national.
Okay, that's a pretty big difference to wrap our heads around right away.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind.
But I'm guessing there are ways around this, right?
Of course there are legal avenues, and one of the most common is a leasehold agreement.
Okay, so tell me about leasehold.
So basically, you secure the right to use the land for a set period of time, usually 30 years, with the option to renew.
30 years. That's not bad, especially if you're thinking like a vacation home or somewhere to retire.
Yeah, exactly. But there are some limitations.
Like what?
Well, you don't have the same level of control as you would if you owned it outright.
Ah, I see.
For example, inheritance can be tricky. You can't automatically pass the lease down to your kids.
Oh, right.
It involves navigating Thai inheritance law and potentially getting approvals for lease transfers.
So more hoops to jump through.
Yeah, and there are also restrictions on what you can actually do with the property.
Okay, so maybe not as simple as just buying a place back home.
Yeah, there are definitely more things to consider.
Got it. Now, what about condos? Are those more straightforward option?
Condos offer a different path, but they come with their own set of rules.
Okay, lay it on me.
Foreigners can own condo units, but there's a 49% ownership rule.
49%, what does that mean?
It means that in any given condo development, only 49% of the units can be owned by foreigners.
Ah, so the majority has to be Thai-owned.
Exactly. The remaining 51% must be owned by Thai nationals.
And why is that?
It's how the Thai government balances foreign investment with protecting local ownership and control over the property market.
Makes sense. So it's all about keeping that balance.
Right. But there's been talk recently about increasing that foreign ownership quota to 75%.
Wow, 75%. Now, that would be a huge change.
It would be massive, but it's important to remember those are just proposals right now.
Right, not set in stone.
Exactly.
So let's stick with what we know for now. Now, I've heard about people forming Thai companies to buy property. Is that a thing?
Yeah, some investors explore that route. It allows for indirect land ownership.
How does that work?
So the Thai company, which you would hold shares in, owns the land.
Oh, so it's like the company owns it and you own part of the company.
Exactly, but there's a catch. You, as a foreigner, can only own up to 49% of the shares in that company.
So again, the majority has to be Thai-owned.
Right, the majority must be held by Thai nationals.
It's like this 49% keeps popping up.
It's a recurring theme, for sure.
Okay, so forming a Thai company sounds way more complex than just buying a property outright.
It definitely is. There are a lot more moving parts.
I bet different types of companies someone could form, right?
Absolutely. And the type of company structure you choose has a big impact on things like taxes and how much control you have.
Okay, so this is where expert advice comes in.
100%. You need someone who can guide you on choosing the right structure and navigating the complexities of Thai corporate law.
So we're starting to see a pattern here, whether it's leasehold condos or forming a Thai company. There's a lot of nuance to consider.
Yeah, for sure.
And just to be clear, this proposed change to the condo law, that's not a done deal yet, right?
Definitely not. It's important to remember that these are still proposals. They haven't been officially enacted into law yet.
So we can't rely on them just yet.
Exactly.
Got it. So no counting chickens before they hatch.
Nope.
Okay, now I'm curious, are there specific types of companies that are more commonly used for this kind of land ownership workaround?
Yeah. The most common type is a private limited company.
Okay. And why is that?
It offers a good balance of liability protection and management flexibility.
Makes sense. Are there tax implications to think about too?
Oh, absolutely. There's corporate income tax on the company's profits, and then you also have personal income tax on any dividends you receive.
So it adds a whole other layer of financial planning.
Yeah, for sure. It gets complicated quickly.
Sounds like we're getting into the weeds here. So let's take a step back for a moment.
Sounds good.
Let's say I'm ready to take the plunge and invest in Samui. What are some of the essential documents I need to be aware of?
That's a great question. Being prepared is key, and we'll definitely dive into the essential documents you'll need in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so stay tuned for part 2.
We'll be right back after a short break. Okay, so we're back.
Back and ready to dig into the actual process.
Exactly. I'm ready to get down to brass tacks. How do I actually buy a property in Samui?
Well, first things first.
It's okay, hit me.
Ocean Worldwide, they really stress how important it is to have legal representation throughout this whole process.
Got it. So a good lawyer is essential.
Think of them as your guide, your Sherpa through all the complexities of Thai property law.
Okay, I've got my lawyer by my side.
Sorry, Cook.
What's next? What kind of paperwork am I looking at?
Well, the first thing you need to understand is the title deed.
The title deed.
In Thailand, it's called the Shinote.
Okay.
It's basically the property's birth certificate. It proves ownership, outlines all the rights associated with that specific piece of land.
So it's like the most important document.
Yeah, making sure the title deed is clear is absolutely crucial.
Title deed, check. What's next on the list?
Next up is the Sales and Purchase Agreement,
Okay.
or SPA for short.
Right.
This is the contract, the legally binding contract that outlines every detail of the sale.
So everything's spelled out in black and white.
Exactly. Purchase price payment schedule, any conditions or contingencies.
Right. So there are no surprises later on.
Exactly. Both the buyer and seller need to sign this, so it's crystal clear who's responsible for what.
Makes sense. Now, what about the financial side of things? Sending
Yeah.
large sums of money overseas, there's got to be some paperwork involved, right?
You bet. As a foreign buyer, you'll need a foreign exchange transaction form, or FTF.
FTF, got it.
This document basically records the transfer of funds from your home country into Thailand.
Okay, so it's all about transparency.
Exactly, complying with Thai regulations regarding foreign currency.
Keeping the money trail squeaky clean. Precisely.
Check anything else I should be prepared for.
There might be some additional documents depending on your specific situation.
Okay, like what?
Well, for instance, if you can't be physically present for every step of the process,
Right.
you might need to grant power of attorney to a trusted representative.
Ah, okay, so it's someone who can act on your behalf. Exactly, and of course there will be tax-related documents.
This is right.
Thailand has its own set of tax laws that apply to property transactions.
So staying informed about those is crucial.
Absolutely. You don't want to get caught off guard.
Okay, this is starting to feel a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be a lot to take in.
Having that legal expert on board is sounding more and more essential.
It's not just about the paperwork, It's
Right.
about understanding the nuances of the law.
Okay, so for example,
Let's say you're going down that leasehold route we talked about earlier.
yeah,
Understanding those lease terms is absolutely crucial.
what kind of things should I be looking for?
Well, you need to know exactly how long the lease is for,
Okay,
whether there are options for renewal,
right.
and what restrictions there are on the use of the property.
Restrictions.
Yeah, some leases might limit the modifications you can make,
Uh-huh.
or even prevent you from subletting.
So reading the fine print is essential.
Absolutely. You need to know your rights and limitations.
Got it. Don't forget about inheritance either, right?
That's a really important one.
Yeah.
You need to think about what happens to the lease if you're no longer around.
If something happens to you.
Exactly. It's important to have a plan in place for how that lease will be handled,
Right.
whether it's setting up a trust or outlining the succession in your will.
It's not something people always think about.
I know it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buying a property,
Right.
but it's crucial to think long term.
Not just enjoying it now, but also its future.
Exactly.
Thinking about how your loved ones might be impacted.
Precisely. And, even with all these complexities,
Yeah.
investing in Koh Samui can be incredibly rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
The potential for high returns in the rental market is a huge draw.
That's what I've heard.
Imagine owning a beachfront villa
Oh, yeah.
or a stylish condo in a prime location, generating rental income, especially during those peak tourist seasons.
You could potentially make back your entire investment.
In just a few years, yeah.
7 years is what our research indicated.
For some of those luxury villas, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's a pretty compelling argument, but beyond the profit,
Yeah.
there's the lifestyle, right?
Ah, yes, the Samui lifestyle.
It's something special.
It really is. It's more than just owning a property. It's about embracing a way of life.
Tell me more.
Waking up to the sound of the ocean,
Oh, yeah.
sipping your morning coffee on your private balcony, overlooking those turquoise waters,
You're speaking my language.
exploring hidden coves, indulging in delicious Thai cuisine,
Hmm.
immersing yourself in the local culture.
It sounds idyllic.
It does, doesn't it? But let's bring ourselves back to reality for a moment.
Okay.
While the potential rewards are super enticing,
Yeah,
it's crucial to make smart investment choices.
absolutely.
And that starts with research.
Okay, so we've talked about engaging legal experts.
Right.
What are some other practical tips for potential buyers?
Thorough due diligence is non-negotiable
Go
before
ahead.
you commit to any property.
Yeah.
Understand the local market conditions. Research the specific location. And if it's a new build, look into the developer's reputation.
So don't just fall in love with the view.
Exactly. Look beyond the surface.
Eyes wide open research is key. What else?
You got to align your investment strategy with your goals.
Okay.
Are you primarily looking for rental income?
Right.
Or is this more of a personal retreat?
Hmm.
Your approach might be different depending on your objectives.
So if I'm aiming for high rental yields,
Yeah.
I might prioritize a property in a popular tourist area.
Exactly. Somewhere with good amenities.
But if it's a personal escape I'm after,
Then a secluded villa off the beaten path might be more your style.
makes sense. You need to know what you want to get out of the investment.
Exactly.
Now, we've discussed leasehold agreements and condo ownership quite a bit.
Mhm.
Are there any other ownership structures that foreigners should be aware of?
There's also the option of usufruct.
Usufruct, that's a new one.
Yeah, it grants you the right to use and benefit from someone else's property, including generating income from it for a specific period of time.
So kind of like a leasehold?
Similar, but it can be more flexible
Got you.
and potentially offer a longer term, even up to a lifetime.
Interesting. So usufruct, leasehold condo ownership forming a Thai company.
It's a lot, I know.
It's a lot to take in. What's the best way to make sense of all these options?
Honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
The best approach depends on your individual circumstances,
Okay.
your risk tolerance, your investment goals.
So having a team of local experts is invaluable.
Absolutely. A lawyer, a reputable real estate agent, maybe even a financial advisor.
Your A-team.
Exactly. They can help you weigh the pros and cons of each option and guide you towards the path that best suits your needs.
Sounds like we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the essential documents, dug deeper into leasehold agreements,
Mm-hmm.
and even uncovered this whole usufruct thing.
It's a lot to digest.
It is, but let's not forget about those proposed changes to the condo laws.
Oh, right. Those are big.
Yeah, and the potential they hold for the future of Samui's property market.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
So let's take a short break and we'll come back to unpack those proposed changes
Sounds good.
and what they could mean for you. Okay, so we're back, and you know what we're going to talk about?
Those proposed
The
changes.
proposed changes to the condo ownership laws. This could be huge.
Huge for foreign investors.
I mean, imagine being able to own up to 75%
instead of 49.
of a condo unit. That's a big jump.
Yeah, that's a significant increase.
It is. And what about those extended lease periods? I mean, are we talking
99 years?
99 years instead of 30? I mean, what kind of impact would that have?
I mean, a 99-year lease is practically like owning the property outright.
Yeah.
You and your heirs have long-term security.
That would make investing in Samui even more appealing.
Oh, absolutely. But we got to remember, these are still just proposals.
Right. Not a done deal.
Not yet.
But even with the existing laws, there are ways for foreigners to invest in Samui property.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about.
Leaseholds,
Ooh.
forming a Thai company.
Usufruct.
That's a lot to take in.
It can be overwhelming, for sure.
So if someone's listening to this and thinking, oh,
Someone who specializes in the Samui market,
makes sense.
they can provide valuable insights
Mhm.
into current market trends, available properties, and the legal processes involved.
And don't forget about legal counsel.
Oh, absolutely crucial.
Having a lawyer who understands Thai property law,
It's non-negotiable.
they can help you navigate all those complex documents, protect your interests, and ensure a smooth transaction.
A good lawyer can also advise you on the best ownership structure for your needs.
Right, so they can help you decide between a leasehold, a condo, forming a company.
Exactly. Weigh the pros and cons of each option and guide you towards the best path.
It's like you're assembling your A-team.
Yeah, your property adventure A-team.
You've got your real estate agent, your lawyer, maybe even a financial advisor.
And don't underestimate the value of local knowledge.
Right, they're the ones with their fingers on the pulse.
Exactly. They can alert you to things you might miss.
So, okay, we've got our team in place, we're armed with knowledge, and we're keeping an eye on those legal changes.
We're ready.
What's the biggest takeaway for someone who's serious about investing in Koh Samui?
I would say owning a piece of paradise is achievable.
I love that.
It just requires careful planning, thorough research, and a willingness to embrace the adventure.
Embrace the adventure. It's not just about the property.
It's about the experience.
Experiencing a new culture, a different way of life, creating memories that will last a lifetime.
And who knows, maybe with those legal changes,
Yeah.
owning a piece of Samui will become even easier.
It's an exciting time to be watching this market.
It really is.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
From legal documents to beachfront villas.
And then those incredible sunsets.
Oh, yeah.
But it's time to wrap things up.
It's been a pleasure unpacking all of this with you.
And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has been insightful, maybe even inspiring.
Yeah,
Remember, owning a piece of paradise in Koh Samui, it's within reach.
it is.
It just takes a little planning, due diligence, and that adventurous spirit.
And for those who want to explore further,
Yeah,
check out Ocean Worldwide Phuket Real Estate.
they've got some great listings.
You might just find your dream property waiting for you.
Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.